Alright guys, this is Tacho here, and we've got quite a bit to talk about today. If you were watching last night, Nintendo Mobile did a live stream event where they showcased a whole bunch of upcoming content in Fire Emblem Heroes. So I'm just going to give my thoughts on all the stuff and break it down one by one. So first and foremost, on August 31st, we're going to be getting two events added to the game. One of them is going to be a voting gauntlet, and one of them is going to be a banner. And the banner is going to feature 4 new units that we actually voted on way back when, before the game came out. So if you remember, they had that voting event where we were told to vote for our favorite male hero and our favorite female hero. And the winners were Ike and Lynn, and the runner-ups were Roy and Lucina. So those are going to be the units that we're going to see on the banner. And they are all very good units, very powerful, and I can't wait, guys. This is definitely going to be one of the best banners we've ever seen in the game. And the real kicker here is that we're going to be getting one of these units free of charge on the house. Whichever one you want, you're going to be free to pick whoever you want. And I don't even know which one I'm going to take myself just yet, because they're all so good. I don't even know. I would say just go ahead and pick your favorite, and you really just can't go wrong. Definitely leave a comment down below, guys. Let me know which one of these units you're going to be going for. So we're just going to go ahead and start talking about them one by one. I'm going to give my opinions on their skills. So we're going to start things off with Lucina. She is a blue lance, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that weapon, guys. I've never been the best at pronunciations, but I'm just going to leave it at that. It's got 16 might, and what it does is it's going to give her defense up 3 right off the bat, so already very good. And then, on top of that, allies with a sword, a lance, an axe, a bow, or a dagger within 2 spaces are going to get attack and speed up 3 during combat. Okay, so essentially it's drive attack 2 and drive speed 2 built right into her weapon, which is very powerful. That's actually insane, guys. This reminds me of Ephraim and Erika a little bit, because if you recall, they had the hone effect built right into their weapon, and normally you would also give them a hone or a fortify skill in the C slot to make them very good team buffers. But the difference here is that the buffs Lucina is giving to her allies are going to be counted as spur buffs. So that means you're allowed to stack them as high as you want, and there's no limit. Unlike with the hones and the fortifies and the rallies that only count for the highest buff you're getting. So this is insane, guys. This Lucina is stacked. This is a really good team supporter. And the way that they chose to balance it is that it's only going to work for the units that are physical based and dealing damage based on the opponent's defense. So that's not even a big deal though, because there's so many really good physical attack based units in the game, and Bride Cordelia especially is going to love having this Lucina as a teammate. So that's definitely something to consider. And for her passive C skill, she has Drive Speed 2, which is going to give allies in 2 spaces speed up 3 during combat. So that's going to stack with her weapon, actually. And she's going to be giving +6 speed to all her allies in 2 spaces that have a physical-based weapon. That's insane, guys. That's ridiculous, especially when you take into account that that's not even counting for a hone or a rally skill. So effectively, this could go up to +10 speed to any ally, man. That is bonkers, guys. That's disgusting. So Lucina is definitely a very good unit, and you can't go wrong if you pick her for your freebie summon. Alright, so the next unit we're going to talk about here is Roy. He is a mount, so he's on a horse, and he's also a red sword. And his weapon is Blazing Durandal. It's got 16 might, and what it does is it's going to grant attack up 3 right off the bat. So already a really cool effect. And on top of that, if the unit's attack is greater than the foe's attack, unit gains special cooldown charge +1. And if using other similar skills, only the highest value is applied. Okay, so it's basically attack up 3 combined with heavy blade 3. So that's a really cool weapon, actually. I like it. And when you consider the fact that his special attack skill is Gale Force, this is really cool. As we all know, Gale Force is one of the better skills. It's just that the problem with Gale Force is that it's a 5-hit cooldown, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to get Gale Force to activate in a fight. But thanks to the fact that he has Heavy Blade built in right on his weapon, he's going to be able to get Gale Force off quite often. And that's very good. That's especially because he's a horse and he's got the 3-range movement. It's going to be very easy for him to just run up and attack opponents and get this off. So that's really cool. Roy is a really cool unit. And we actually caught a glimpse of his stats in the trailer. So I'm going to talk about his stats for a little bit. He's got 38 HP, 51 attack, 34 speed, 26 defense, and 24 res. So take this with a grain of salt because we don't actually know what his boon is or what his bane is there. So these stats aren't really definitive, but they do give a little bit of a preview of what Roy is going to be capable of. So it looks like his attack is pretty okay. Of course, the +3 that he's getting from his weapon is counted into that. So really, he's got 48 attack. His speed looks pretty decent. It's going to get even better with Honed Cavalry in play. And both of his defense seem pretty solid. He doesn't really have a weakness in terms of defenses. And his HP is okay as well, 38. That's a little bit low, but because he's a horse, it kind of makes sense. So overall, Roy's got some pretty solid stats. And another interesting thing is that his A-slot passive is not something we've seen in the game yet. It looks like it's going to be +4 speed and +4 defense when he initiates combat. So it's sort of like Swift Sparrow and Sturdy Blow and all those skills that give you increased stats when you're initiating the attack. So pretty cool there. Overall though, I gotta say, even though Roy is a really fantastic unit and he looks awesome, I would say he's one of the weaker units on this banner. Because all the other units we've seen in this banner are doing some really crazy stuff. So Roy might be in last place, but even then, if you choose to summon Roy, you really aren't going wrong, so keep that in mind. Alright, moving on to the next unit. This is the one that's been causing the biggest buzz out of all of them. We've got Lynn here, and she's actually a mount and she's a bow. So this is the first horse bow that we've ever had in the game, making Lynn already a unique unit that stands out from all the rest of these units on the banner. And her weapon is Mulagir. I totally botched that. I don't even know how to say it, but I'm just going to call it Mulagir. It's got 14 might and 2 range, and what it does is it's effective against flying units. So just like any old bow, it's going to be strong against flyers. And it also gives her speed up 3 right off the bat. So that's pretty cool. Right away, she's getting +3 speed. And if the foe is a magic user, foe's bonuses from skills like Fortifies and Rallies are going to be nullified during combat. Alright man, that is what I'm talking about. That's amazing. As you all know, Blade Tomes run rampant in the arena. Everyone uses a Blade Tome, and the way that you abuse the Blade Tomes is by buffing their stats with Fortifies and Hones and Rallies and whatnot. But none of that is going to work against Lynn. She's going to negate all of their bonuses, and any magic unit is going to be forced to fight her with nothing but their raw base stats. And that's going to give Lynn an extreme advantage against all the magic opponents in the game. And because she's a ranged unit, that just makes it even better, because she's going to be able to bait them. So that's really great. And her passive B skill is Saka's Blessing, which if the foe has a sword, a lance, or an axe, the foe cannot counterattack. And this skill cannot be inherited. So the way that they chose to balance it is by making it exclusive to Lynn. And just the fact that swords, lances, and axes are not going to be able to counterattack her, that's unbelievable, guys. This Lynn is going to be a monster. There's no way to bait her. Like, the normal units that you would want to bait this Lynn, like your Ikes and your Hectors and Riomas and Xanders and whatnot, all of those guys fall into the category of swords, lance, and axe. So if they can't bait her, then she's just going to walk all over them on offense. And this is going to be crazy when comboed with her weapon, because already magic type units are going to be at a disadvantage against her, since she's going to be allowed to use her stat buffs and they aren't. And then when you couple in the fact that swords and lances and axes can't fight her, she's going to be strong against such a wide amount of opponents that it's kind of gross. This Lynn is really powerful, guys. And I think most people have decided to use their freebie summon to get Lynn. So keep that in mind. I don't know if you want to do the same, and you're definitely free to do so, but I would say if you don't want Lynn, and if you feel like one of the other ones is your favorite and you want to go for them instead, you really aren't doing yourself a disservice. So keep that in mind. And we also caught a glimpse of Lynn's stats, just like with Roy. She's got 35 HP, 47 attack, 38 speed, 18 defense, and 28 res. Okay. So overall, just like with Roy, take these stats with a grain of salt. We don't really know if these are going to be definitive, and we don't really know her boon or her bane here. So it's hard to tell what her actual stats are going to be. But from what I can see, she's really fast. She's got really good res, and her HP and defense are a little bit on the low end, but that's not even a big deal, because her passive beast skill is going to prevent all those physical-based distant counter units from attacking her on the counter attack. And 47 attack is definitely not bad, especially when she's going to be getting the horse emblem buffs. So this Lynn is a monster. And another cool thing about this is that if you take a look at her passive C skill, that's actually a skill that we have not seen in the game yet. So I don't know what that is, but I guess we're going to find out when Lynn comes out. So that's pretty cool there. Lynn, you really just can't go wrong. Most people seem to be wanting to go for Lynn the most. And the final unit we're going to talk about today is Ike. So Ike is a green axe. His weapon is Irvon, which is his father's weapon. If you guys played Radiant Dawn, you know all about this weapon. It's really good, especially in the end game. And it's got 16 might. And what it does is it's going to accelerate the special trigger. So cooldown count -1. And if unit receives consecutive attacks, damage from the second attack onward is reduced by 80%. Okay, so this is a counter pick to all of those Brave type weapons like Brave Bow and Brave Lance and even Dire Thunder from Reinhardt. All those weapons that attack 2 in a row and they attack before the opponent gets a chance to counterattack. All those attacks on Ike are going to be reduced by 80%. And on top of that, he's also accelerating his own special trigger. So it's like a killer weapon or a slaying weapon built right in. This is a very good weapon, guys. This Ike is going to be an absolute tank, especially on a defense tile. Like, Bride Cordelia is not going to be able to do too much damage to this Ike. Reinhardt is going to get wrecked by this Ike because Ike has the color advantage on him. There's just so many really top tier meta units that get wrecked by this weapon, guys. So Ike is a fantastic looking unit. And what you're going to want to do is pass off a Hector to this Ike so that he gets distant counter and he's going to be able to just completely shred all of those Brave units and all of those ranged attackers that are going to try to hit him. So really cool there. His passive B slot skill, there's quite a bit of controversy going on here because apparently it was mistranslated in the English version of the live stream. So I'm just going to read what it says in English and then I'm going to tell you what it does according to the Japanese description. So it's Bayork's Blessing, and what it says here is effective against flying and cavalry units, and foes bonus from skills like Fortify and Rally, etc. are going to be nullified during combat, and it can't be inherited. So just like Lynn's passive B, this is going to be unique only to Ike, and that's how they chose to balance it. And now, the problem comes from the wording that they used here. It says effective against flying and cavalry units, and normally in the game, what that would mean is that Ike is going to be super effective in terms of dealing damage to those types of opponents, but that's not quite what it means. Apparently in Japanese, what it says is that flying and cavalry units are the ones that are going to be affected by this skill, and what it does is it's going to negate their bonuses from fortifies and rallies, etc. So, in other words, this Ike is built to take on Flying Emblem and Horse Emblem teams, and he's going to negate all of their stat buffs from Hone Flyer, Fortify Flyer, and Hone Cavalry and Fortify Cavalry. So that's pretty cool there. It's not actually going to make him strong against those types in terms of damage, because that would just be stacked beyond belief, but that's not how it works. And the English version of the game, the translation, they made a big boo-boo there, so that's their fault, not ours. So just keep that in mind. This Ike, he's a really fantastic unit. It's just that he's not quite as fantastic as they made it look with the English translation. So that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed my little breakdown of all the units there. Again, I'm not actually sure which one I'm going to go for just yet. I'm leaning towards either Lynn or Ike, but Lucina is definitely in there, and I can't really decide, but hopefully I manage to get all of them when I do my summons, and hopefully the same goes for all of you guys as well. I hope you guys manage to pull all the units you're looking for on this banner. So, as always, this is Tacho signing out. Definitely comment down below, guys. Again, let me know which one of these units is going to be your freebie summon. And, as always, cheers, have a great day, and I hope to see you again next time.